Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with powers. I'm Jake, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing an in-depth analysis for a board game that's on Kickstarter right now called Suriya. All right, Suriya is an asymmetric deck building war game coming to you from Hexa House, who most recently brought all of us, if you backed it, Barbaric. All right, which was one of my top 10 favorite games of 2024. So I wanted to give an in-depth analysis, taking a look at this campaign page, giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on what you are looking at and kind of some of the things that Hexa House is advertising here with this particular board game from the experience of having backed one of their previous games and a game that I really enjoyed. All right, guys, let's go to the computer screen where we got our campaign page pulled up, ready to go. So here we are on the campaign page, guys. Again, we have the game Suriya. When the sun fades, the great war begins. An asymmetric deck building war game with a 5-minute setup and a 10-minute learning curve. And I will say that this is probably true, guys. I was thoroughly surprised with Barbaric of how quick and easy it was to set the game up. Again, based on my previous history with Hexa House, they do make a game. When they say 5 minutes setup, it is very easy to set up and get to the table, even though it does have a massive table presence or it does have a lot of miniatures to it. 10-minute learning curve. The game Barbaric was actually pretty simple to learn. There's not a whole lot of different phases that you got to go through. There's not a lot of actions you can either do on your turn. So, you know, with those particular actions, it was basically just like you take a rider action, you take a gear action, and you're ready to go. So I do believe that this is 100% honest and genuine right here when they do say 5-minute setup and a 10-minute learning curve. All right, so we got 527 backers, 6 days to go. Probably when this video releases, guys, there'll be 5 days left on the campaign. All right, so I don't have really a structure to this. I'm just gonna scroll down the campaign page and talk about things as we move through this campaign page. So obviously right here, guys, take a note that everything you see here is in the Singapore dollar, which is not the US dollars. So here's kind of your currency. There'll be a currency exchange right here. 1 Singapore dollar is 75 US dollars. All right, so here is the board game itself. Again, it is going to have quite a big table presence, it looks like, with this circular map. And obviously you got a bunch of miniatures. You're going to have cards everywhere that you're going to do. But the game is actually probably going to be very simple, easy, just like Barbaric was. So we have this all-in pledge right here. If you do back this, guys, you will get the core box right here. You'll have 2 expansions, Conspirators of the Void, Traitors in the Shadows. You'll have a stretch goals box. You will get the playmat, a dice tray, and a new faction that is specific to this all-in pledge, I do believe. So here are the different factions. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factions with 152 miniatures, plus more from the daily unlocks. And again, it's going to be around 229 US dollars. As I mentioned, you'll get Suriya The Last Horizon, which is the core box, Suriya Traitors in the Shadows expansion, Conspirators of the Void expansion, the Rising Depths expansion, the playmat double-sided, a dice tray, and all unlocked stretch goals. And here come some of the components: 500 plus cards, 120 unique artworks, 152 miniatures with stunning details. And I will say, guys, that Hexa House does a phenomenal job with production. Went from their miniatures to the artwork and everything. I was very impressed with Barbaric. So don't miss out. This is probably the big one right here. Daily unlocks and stretch goal items will not be included in the retail version, and they currently have no plans of bringing this to retail. So there is a little bit of FOMO that could go on here with this particular game, but I would definitely say, guys, this is one that you seriously want to consider taking a look at. If I did not back Barbaric, I probably would be kicking myself in the foot, because this is just a awesome looking game with a lot of artwork that's really fun and super easy to get to the table and and play. So there is that. I don't know if they're even planning on doing a retail release of Barbaric, but thoroughly impressed with Barbaric, and let's just go ahead and keep going. Okay, so Suriya, the Last Horizon here. Deck building war game, 5 minutes setup, 10 minutes to learn, 100 plus variations, 1 to 4 players, 14 plus, 60 to 120 minutes. Again, I'm going to say, guys, they are going to be pretty accurate with this playtime of the game here, solely based on my plays with Barbaric. It looks like a big production, guys, but it's going to play pretty quick and it's going to be easy to set up. So just know that I'm going to constantly be harping on that in regards to this specific project here. But this is kind of how the game is going to look, right? You're going to have these little terrain tiles. You are going to have a little miniature tray right here with your guys on it. You're gonna have a deck of cards behind your shield. You're gonna be putting these miniature guys out here on these different tiles, and you are gonna be having like command tokens that are gonna command these units to different tiles to attack and things like that. And you are trying to take over your opponent's headquarters, which one will probably be over here, the other one will probably be over here. You have these minerals, which is kind of your currency. And then obviously we have different attack dice. You have cards right here that you can pull from, and then you're gonna have starting hand cards. So in this asymmetric deck building war game for 1 to 4 players, you'll lead your faction to secure critical resources, build your forces, and outmaneuver opponents. With easy setup and streamlined rules, Suriya offers deep strategic gameplay with every decision matters in the fight to reignite hope. Okay, so here are the goals of the gameplay. Build your base or destroy an opponent's headquarters. So what I like really well, what I really enjoy about Hexa House and their previous game, Barbaric, is they make the objectives super simple, right? In Barbaric, it was you basically 2 objectives, the same thing. It was you get that atomic coin, which is in the middle, and you exit the map with the atomic coin, or you basically eliminate all the players on the map. So very much the same here. Either you are building all of your bases is one condition, or destroy an opponent's headquarters. They do a very good job of making things very streamlined and simple and easy. All right, let's look at player turns here. Again, look, only 3 things you're doing on your turn. You can play cards by paying the minerals, discard cards to gain these minerals, or use the command token to move, extract, or attack with a unit. Again, they keep things very simple. 3 things on your turn. You can do as many of those actions as you would like, I believe, and then your turn is over. Then you would move into what's called the income phase, where you can either pick 1 card from either the central or faction technology and add it to your discard pile, and then gain minerals and draw cards. I actually think you do both these. You will gain a card, and then you will collect your income. So again, guys, the gameplay in the goal you can see here is very streamlined. It's simple. It's very easy to understand. Your objectives are very clear and concise, but what's really cool is there is a lot of strategic depth with what it looks to be with this game based on everything that I've seen in Barbaric. And again, guys, I do just want to give a caveat that I have not been able to play this game. I've looked at the rule book. I'm looking at all the stuff that's on this campaign page, and I'm basing solely all of my thoughts and opinions based on their previous campaign of Barbaric and my experience with that. And I've been able to get Barbaric to the table a ton, guys. As I mentioned, the reason why I feel so qualified to talk about this is Barbaric was my top 10 game of 2024. This game is definitely in my top 10, so I very much enjoy this one. So even though these games are 2 totally different games, I feel like there's a lot of similarities I see from Hexa House, from Barbaric, into this one. Okay, why back now? Kickstarter exclusive, be among the first. They do have a limited painted edition, which I will talk about. So it's like $400 for the paint on this one. Look, if you have the money to spend, I would recommend going ahead and getting that painted edition. The paint quality that I have seen is top-notch, premier, and phenomenal. I am kicking myself in the foot for not getting the painted edition of Barbaric. Guys, it was only like $300 for them to paint all the minis in Barbaric, which was, to me, a phenomenal price based upon, you look at Awakened Realms and some of these other games that you can back where the paint cost is in the 600s plus, right? So for $400, or I think it's like $452 or something like that, If you have that money to spend and you want to do that, I think you're going to get top quality, top-notch painted miniatures, right? And of course, bring the game to life. So let's look and see some of these daily unlocks. We got a box upgrade. That's okay. We got dual class generals, all right? So dual class generals for both human and the Scarab factions. Now you'll be able to choose between 2 distinct class paths for each general, offering unique passive and active skills for even more strategic depth. To make it even better, they're including new artwork for the alternative class. So that's pretty cool. Day 3, we got a new Abyss Warden right here for the Abyss faction, I believe. We got Ocean's Embrace. We got a new the High Priestess of the Marinians. She commands 1 general, so we got a new general here. Day 5, Vakon, we got a new general for the Marianers. This is that Kickstarter exclusive here. You can see it says only in the all-in pledge will you get this particular faction. Day 6, we got another special unlock for that special faction. Day 7, we got some Seawalkers for the Marianers special faction. And then, of course, we have basically the rest of the entire components with all of their cards for the all-in faction. What I also think is really cool, guys, is if you look at all these cards laid out, you see how they form a picture. I think that's really cool and awesome as well when you combine all of them together. So basically, these are all the components, the Marians components and everything that you're going to need for that exclusive faction for pledging the all-in. Okay, day 9, we got some more dual class generals for the Centron and the Christus. Day 10, we got some new terrain. Day 11, we have a 2v2 team mode. That's something that's really cool. I think Hexa House does a really great job with the different types of modes, right? Barbaric has a solo mode, it's got a free-for-all mode, it's got a team mode as well. Now, some people say I'm always very cautious about games that have multiple different modes and claim to have a solo mode, a co-op mode, all that stuff. But I think Barbaric does that really well. Now, is it completely perfect? No. I think Barbaric really shines as a free-for-all or team mode style game. They do have a co-op mode actually as well. The co-op mode and the solo mode play very similar. Is it a great experience? I would say not so much, but it's a good, solid experience if you want to try and get that game to the table. But I would more than rather play Barbaric in the free-for-all or team mode. So I think they do a really good job with all of these different modes. Obviously designed for 4 players, teams of 2. You'll have things like that. All right, next we have the Ismira the Sandweaver for the Daenerys clan, which looks like it's going to be another faction specifically for the all-in pledge, okay? So this is another specific faction, the Sand Weaver, or the Daenerys, I believe. So we got another general for here, we got another general for there, the Sand Crawlers, 6 miniatures and Sand Crawlers. Day 16, you'll have that special unlock as well. Okay, let's talk about these funding goals. So that was all of the day goals. It looks like you're gonna be unlocking more factions, right? The funding goals, we have the solo mode. So human autonoma, all right, we got a painted edition giveaway. We have the solo Scarab Autonoma. So this painted edition giveaway, guys, if you back the all-in pledge, at the end of the campaign, 1 person is going to be selected for the painted edition. We have a solo mode for Scarab Autonoma, solo mode for Centron Autonoma, solo mode for Christos Autonoma. I think this is really cool, right? Bringing in more ways to play this game. Look, this game, along with Barbaric, is it's a lot, guys, right? And you're probably not going to get to the table every single time. So I love the fact that even with Barbaric having that solo mode, they make ways for you to be able to get the game to the table. This game, again, it looks like a straight up head-to-head war, you know, dudes on a map type thing, dudes on terrain tiles type thing, head-to-head game. And so by including the solo mode, I think it's really cool because it finds more avenues for you to be able to get to the table. Now, I haven't looked at any of the solo mode stuff, so I don't know how the solo mode is going to play, but based upon Barbaric, like I said, the solo mode is not really great. It's good. It's somewhere in the middle, it gets the job done. Is it the most fun way to play the game? Not so much, but I think it's just another avenue for you to get all this content to the table, okay? So you got a lot of solo mode, so I think every faction looks to have its own solo mode to play against, which is really cool, wherein like Barbaric, you are playing against kind of the monster the whole time, right? Trying to get the atomic coin and then get up out of there. So I think this solo mode might be a little bit better because you are actually taking on a autonomous opponent. I almost wish they did that in Barbaric, where you would pick another rider in gear and face them as well. So let's take a look at the core box, right? So it includes 4 unique factions, each with distinct mechanics and playstyle. Build your deck with powerful faction technology cards, combine them with your general's abilities, maximize the strengths of your faction bases to create devastating combos. So we have the humans. All right, humans, we're using landmines to gain advantage in space. They have a barricade and terrain bonus, all right? So human, all of their components, we got the human base tokens, we got the 3 human generals here, the elite units, and the 10 basic units, along with all of their action cards, headquarter tile, command tokens, barricade tokens, landmine tokens, and their tray, along with the screen. They do have a backstory here for the humans, but I'm not going to read any of that stuff. Okay, our next faction right here. Look at these guys. The scarab mechanics. So spawning, build a nest to spawn the egg. You know what this game actually reminds me a lot of, and I'll go more StarCraft. Reminds me a lot of StarCraft, like the Zerglings. Is what this mine. So building a nest to spawn eggs and grow, then attack enemies. You can tunnel, create tunnels in various areas. Evolution, form basic units to elite units. So there's going to be all of their units, their scarab base, the generals, the 3 type of generals here. You got all their scarab elite units and the 10 basic units with all of their cards. Pretty cool. We got the headquarters, all of their necessary egg tokens, tunnel tokens, and tray. All right. The next faction, we have the Centron. So this looks to be like robots, sentient robots. So learn and become stronger through empowerment. We got invulnerable. They're more powerful even though their numbers are smaller, with power-up cards that help turn the situation around. Teleport gate. They can kind of teleport around the map. That seems pretty cool. We got all of their units. Obviously the base. We got the 3 general units here. The Centron elite units. The Centron basic units, right? Their cards, which look, again, I love how everything forms kind of this picturesque artwork here. Headquarters trays and everything. Okay, moving on to the last faction right here. We have the Crevitas, all right? So direct attack. These factions possess ancient technology with the power of great destruction, large production. They are a faction that has the technology to produce a large amount of minerals, and quick learning. Build your deck quickly with the ability to explore new technologies and learn abilities faster than other factions, okay? Their bases, we got their 3 generals right here. That guy looks pretty menacing. Elite units, all right, basic units, and then their cards, and again, with all of their necessary tokens. All right. Other components that are coming in the game. You got these 20 different terrain tiles, which you will draft. You have mid-terrain trays, high terrain trays. So there's gonna be different level of terrains. You guys will be able to select during the thing. Of course, we got the player tray. You got all the central cards that you can build your deck from, along with the starting cards and all of the particular dice and the minerals, player aids, exhaust tokens, and 1 rulebook, which is only 11 pages, guys, I believe, off the top. Okay, one of the expansions, we got the Zoentropes Expansion. So, you know what these guys remind me of? Ratchet and Clank. That's what they kind of, or Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank. That's who they remind me of here. So the Zoentropes. Risk dice. So thrive on high stakes using a 10-sided die. If luck goes on your side, powerful effects and massive advantages can swing the battle in your favor. Symbol collection. By collecting specific symbols on cards, Zoentropes can unlock potent combos. Resource cycling. With abilities focused on mineral generation and card cycling, Zoentropes excel at maintaining a steady flow of resources. All right. So here is all of their specific. We got the generals. That guy's hilarious. We got the elite units. We got the basic units. We got all of their cards and all of their necessary components, along with our custom acrylic dice. All right. The next expansion, we got the Voidborn Expansion, all right? Voidborn Expansion, Mind Control. So psychic abilities, Voidborn can mind control enemy units. Corruption, specializes in flooding enemy decks with corrupt cards. Ooh. And Karma Action, uses karma tokens to trigger special actions and create powerful combo chains. I do really love the translucent look of this particular faction here. You can kind of see there the elite units, the regular units, their cards, all the necessary components that you're going to need. Here's one of the exclusive expansions only in the all-in pledge. Remember, the Marinians Expansion, so water types, shark type guys. Lagoon Advantage, immune to lagoon trade penalties and gain benefits from it. Can also transform terrain into lagoon. Dehydration effects can drain moisture for enemies. Wow, if they accumulate dehydration tokens, it is instantly destroyed. Unit pairing enhances Marinians strength, or Marinians strength, all right? That's really cool mechanics. We got their 3 generals. Obviously, this guy, the shark guy, looks the best. We got them riding on whales. All right. And we got the basic units along with all their cards. We kind of took a look at that. And then we had that select one that they haven't had out yet, the Dunarians or whatever. Okay, so you have 3 different pledge levels to this game, guys. You have the core pledge of the game, which is going to make you $119. You're just going to get the core game and the dice tray with some unlocked stretch goals. Of course, we have the all-in pledge, which I've already talked about, for $229. We have a duo pledge, so all-in 2 sets of the duo. We have a party pledge, which is 6 all-in sets for $1,229. And then we got some add-ons. You can get a $39 playmat, the Zoentropes expansions for $39, the Voidborn expansion for $39, and an extra dice set for $19. So upgrade your battles with this premium custom acrylic dice set designed for smoother and faster gameplay. Included in the set is going to be these dice. You got a storybook for $19 USD dollars. For $50, you can add on the shadow shading, and then for $100, there's a 100 limited painted all-in edition for $429. Okay. Jake, what do you recommend? Look, guys, basically after looking at all this, I would say the best bang for your buck is going to be the all-in pledge for $229, because not only are you getting the core box, you are getting 3 other factions. You're getting, 4. You're getting 4 other factions, right? You're getting the Traders in the Shadows, you're getting the Conspirator of the Void expansion, you're getting the exclusive Marinians expansion, and then you're getting that exclusive Dunarius' expansion, right? I don't think the playmat is a necessary. I got the playmat for Barbaric. Obviously, that playmat is massive. It does not store in the box. I have to store it separately. I don't really see a difference with the board. So I don't think the playmat is necessary, but you're losing out on so much if you decide to get the core box in just the other 2 expansions, right? Because you're still losing out on 2 other expansions. The core box, what I said the core box was I think it was $120. So you'd add an additional $80. So basically for $200, if you just wanted to get the core box and 2 expansions, guys, you basically just add 30 more bucks, and you get 2 more expansions and a neoprene mat. So to me, the best bang for your buck is going to be the all-in pledge here. All right. If you do not have that money to spend, I would just recommend picking up the core pledge then. Look, I think 4 units is going to be sufficient for you. With Barbaric, you know, I got the all-in for Barbaric, and it's almost sometimes it's too much content for me because there's 4 riders and 4 gears in every single box. So I have 12 riders, 12 gears, plus 2 additional riders in gears. So what is that? 14. So I got 7 riders, 7 gears. No. Yeah, I got 12 riders, 14 gears. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of content, right? I have not even played anybody yet. So when you're looking at this, you're looking at 4 factions, 5, 6, 7, 8 different factions. Sometimes it can almost be too much. But like I said, guys, the best bang for your buck here is going to be the all-in pledge with the high level of immersive and content. I understand that it's very expensive, but at the least, guys, I would pick up the core pledge for 119 here with Suriya. Okay, before we move into kind of any final thoughts, let's just scroll down and see what else. Oh, shading. I would also recommend the shadow shading, okay? For 50 bucks, I think I got the shadow shading on my Barbaric miniatures. If you guys ever want to take a look at the production value of Barbaric, I'll go ahead and link the Barbaric review up in the top right-hand corner or left-hand corner of this video, guys, where I basically showcase the components and the shadow shading themselves, or you can look at my unboxing. I'll probably link the unboxing of all of Barbaric. You can see the shadow shading on all of the different characters. I think they've done a great job with that shadow shading, and it really makes it the miniatures stand out. All right. Again, it just talks about game overview, how to play the game. So build all 3 of your bases, destroy an opponent's headquarters. During this action phase, right, you're going to be playing cards, discard cards for minerals if you need them, move a squad using these command tokens, extract minerals using these command tokens, and attack an enemy squad using a command token. Now, I do enjoy how these command tokens, the strategy of the game is you put a command token down to either move, attack, or extract. You cannot move and attack in the same turn. So you got to be very strategic when you're moving next to enemies because they can attack you, right? We got this income phase where you're going to gain a card and collect income. Here's an opportunity to read the rule book. We got some how to play guys. We got some content on this game. The stretch goals, we got some more previews. Social stretch goals, all that. Talks about shipping here. I'm in the US, so 26 for the core box, 42 for the all-in. And then it kind of talks about their delivery process of this game to come from 2026. Here's a gallery of some of these painted miniatures. Again, guys, this painting miniatures is going to be top-notch quality. I do believe they use Board Game Cafe, which is based in Thailand. Here's some more pictures of the game, which that's kind of phenomenal. Okay. I think that's kind of the end of the game here. Again, right, they've also done Victim, but Barbaric has been their huge success, right? Popular vote mechanic, Asian Board Game Festival 2003, popular vote artwork, best artwork of 2024. Okay, let me scroll back up here and give my final thoughts and opinions on Suriya. Okay. All right, let's kind of wrap up and talk about my final thoughts and opinions on Suriya, the board game. Look, right off the bat, this game reminds me a lot of StarCraft, right? Hexa House is a Thai-based company, and I think they just do a really great job with their games. With Suriya, reminds me a lot of StarCraft, those real-time strategy style games. As I mentioned, Barbaric reminds me of those MOBA style games where you're drafting characters, drafting a rider, drafting a gear, putting these different combinations together. I mean, they just do a great job with, if you're into those RTS, those MOBA style games, they do a great job of producing games that have that same sort of feel, right? So with Suriya, I'm getting that StarCraft, that real-time strategy type of feel to this game. You're playing cards, you're putting units out, you're building these units, you can upgrade these units. You are basically trying to destroy your opponent's headquarters like you would in most RTS strategy games. Now, it's got deck building in it. I really enjoy deck building. I think the deck building aspect is pretty cool with dudes on a map style game. 5-minute setup. I think the setup is going to be quick and easy, guys. They do a great job with making games that, while they do take up a lot of table space, it's very easy to get to them to the table. It's very easy to get them set up, right? Basically, from what I've seen in the rulebook, you're just collecting your tray, all of your miniatures, you're putting them all there. You're setting out the board or the playmat. You basically are just drafting the tiles, put them out. You put the cards out where you need to, and you guys are ready to go. So very, very quick setup, it looks like for me here. It says 10-minute learning curve. Look, I went over it. The game is very simple. It looks very easy to get down, right? You got 2 main objectives: build all your bases or take out your enemy's headquarters. During your turn, there's a bunch of different things you can do. There's only really 3 things you can do: play a card, discard a card for minerals, or use one of those command tokens for an action on a squad. And then you go into that income phase. So I do think the game is very simple. The mechanics are very simple and easy to understand for a game that is going to be a a big production, I guess I want to say. Speaking of production, the artwork, the production value here is top-notch, high quality, right? They have done an amazing job with Barbaric in the production of that and the quality of all the miniatures. Now, I did have one miniature that was slightly bent, but during the Barbaric campaign, I've talked to Hexa House a little bit. They said they are going to make a change with their manufacturing company to produce higher quality miniatures that are more aligned with what they envisioned. But look, I think Barbaric has phenomenal production on that one. So you're getting a game that's got high quality. And of course, like I said, guys, this does not plan on coming to retail. Look, I think overall, Suriya is going to be a really good back if you guys are interested in dudes on a map, deck building style games, games that have that RTS feel. This is one that you truly do not want to miss. I cannot endorse Hexa House and Barbaric enough. And I do want to say, guys, that Hexa House is not paying me to say any of this stuff. They have not asked or told me to do any of this content on this game. As I mentioned, I really enjoy this game that they created in Barbaric, and I think Suriya is going to be a game that for me could potentially rival Barbaric as one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. So I want to put this game on your radar that, look, you're going to get a game that's got phenomenal production, that's going to be very easy to set up, that's going to be very easy to understand and play. Yes, it does have a very big price tag, but I think this price tag is worth it. Like I mentioned, the best bang for your buck, guys, is that all-in pledge. You are getting a lot of content, you're getting a lot of miniatures, and you know, most miniature style games are going to be able to resell at almost similar value on the market, and especially if this game never comes to retail. Who knows, guys? This might be a high quality game. Barbaric, I think, is starting to gain a lot of traction now. You know, it's been in a lot of tournaments over in Thailand, and I think you could probably resell that for pretty high on the secondary market. Okay, if you don't have the 229 to get the all-in, I definitely recommend at least just picking up the core box for 120. At 120 bucks, guys, you are getting a lot of value for that particular price point. Okay, look, well, that is basically my thoughts and opinions on Suriya. I cannot say this enough. This looks to be an amazing game, a safe back for all of you guys, a high quality back with a lot of production, a game that looks fun, reminiscent of StarCraft, real-time strategy style games. If you guys enjoyed this, go ahead, smash that like button, hit that notification bell, comment down below. Have you guys taken a look at this campaign so far? What are your thoughts? Have you backed it? Are you backing it? Or are you staying away from this game? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Drop them down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, if you're not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you some more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.